What's up everybody, this is Colin, and in this video I just want to talk real quick about Facebook ad account solutions. So we are 3 weeks away from the December mastermind, and this is one of our biggest topics in this 10-week CPA marketing program. And I want to help you for free as well on this topic because I know so many people are struggling with this. What is going on? Well, let me tell you. Facebook is becoming more and more strict when it comes to regulating their content. This has to do with Cambridge Analytica. It has to do with all the political screams that are going on right now. Like, should they allow political advertising? Should they not? It is all in the user experience. So a lot of external forces, usually politically driven, data protection, privacy driven, for Facebook, which for the advertisers is obviously not that good. There are more rules, more strict. They tune up the algorithm almost every week with new updates to prevent you from doing anything that shouldn't be allowed, and even things that are allowed right now are being taken down. Does this mean that Facebook is no longer a good traffic source for you? No, it is still a great traffic source. It holds insane amounts of traffic, it can be extremely profitable on a large scale. And that's why you need to understand what the Facebook ad account solutions are. So I'm just going to give you a brief overview of the things I think you should know for sure. If you are interested in learning more, getting your business back on track, then you have to join the December Mastermind, where I show you everything, hours and hours of content on these specific solutions one by one. Anyway, why Facebook is so strict? Because they want the best user experience. If the user is happy, they log more into Facebook and they see more advertisements and they make more money, right? However, it's not only solely about money anymore. They have been getting lawsuits from the European Union, from the Regulations Authority in the United States. So Facebook doesn't want to get hit with like billion-dollar lawsuits, right? So they try to streamline and take down a little bit of their revenue to comply with all these laws. And that's obviously very difficult as being such a big company. Well, for the advertiser, what does it mean is you need to understand the hierarchy of bands. When it comes down to the CPM marketing practices that we do, the advertisement that we run, the hierarchy of bands is very important. There's a specific structure in place through the flow, how it goes. So let's say it starts with ad disapproval, right? And it ends with like IP address block. For every step, there's maybe, I would say 8 to 12 steps, depending on your country, 8 to 12 different type of bans. And you probably only know 1 or 2 bans: ad account ban, business manager ban. Those are probably the only 2 you are aware of right now. But there are so many small steps and big steps in this hierarchy of bans. And we call it hierarchy of bands. I made that up, right? But all the students understand how it works because it's more simple, and each ban or each problem is a link to a specific solution. If you Google hierarchy of bands, you will not find anything. So it's not a real term, that's just how we call it, the step-by-step process. And yes, there's no information on this on the internet for free, that's for sure. I know a couple of guys who have a lot of experience in this, who we actually hired to teach us when we had the problem. And now, obviously, these steps, we know them so well because we experience not every day, but at least once a month, we have to go to the more advanced strategies. And now you need to develop on these strategies. So you need to understand the hierarchy of bans, which goes all the way from ad disapproval to IP address ban, which is obviously very intense. Then you have to think in solutions, right? There are 2 different types of solutions: expensive solutions and cheap solutions. So an expensive solution would be hire a consultant to analyze your business and fix it, right? That's what we did. An expensive solution would be joining the mastermind, getting all this information you need to know, paying for it once, and then you always have it. Then a cheap solution would be maybe buy some ad accounts and do what you're doing right now, which means it's a short-term fix. Like, there's no better way. They're both good ways as long as you can keep going in your business. That's the most important part. So as long as you keep going through the same system and you keep having the same problems, it's not really long term, but we also need to make money, right? So if you do not have enough cash to invest in consulting, coaching programs, to help you counter these problems, you might as well look for a short-term solution while you perhaps introduce a new traffic source, something like that. But it all comes down to my favorite point, and that is risk versus reward. So there is now a significant risk. It was always difficult with Facebook, right? The affiliates, they use cloakers, they use all these kinds of tools, proxies, to mislead Facebook into running their black hat campaigns. Now, for us, it's easier to run things without the cloaker than for affiliates to run with the cloaker. Facebook's algorithm detection system is so high profile, so crazy, that it can detect the cloakers easily. The safe sites don't really help that much as they used to. The program is just developing and the affiliates have to change, right? So the more white hat, gray hat approach, using no cloaker, making less aggressive copy and still raking in that ROI, you have to find the perfect balance there. So no cloaker, that will be a good solution. No proxies, maybe even no VPN or VPS. The solution here is find the right balance between risk and reward. I mean, if you're not cloaking, not using safe sites, not running black hat campaigns, you're going to the white hat lead gen like sweepstakes, insurance, your ROI will obviously go down, maybe from 100% to 30%. But the question is, if you can run without any headaches, 30% ROI on scale, like 100K per month, I would say that is pretty good. Then you would have no complaints. You can just do whatever you want and you build a good business. Doesn't mean you won't have any issues with the ad accounts. You still might have, but these ad account issues are significantly less. You still have to follow the hierarchy of bans. You still have to come up with all these solutions to your problems, but you won't have ad account dying every single day, which is just a pain in the ass, right? That's not really running a business, that's just churning and burning everything. So with the risk versus reward, you have to find the right balance. To be able to do that, you have to understand the hierarchy of bands. So list all the bands out and see from importance, from intensity, not intense to super intense. So ad account is at the bottom, ad disapproval is at the bottom and IP ban is at the top. And then you have to find a mixture of expensive or cheap solutions according to your circumstances. And just know that Facebook is becoming more strict. Again, Facebook is still the best and my favorite traffic source right now. So no worries about that. You just have to be smart. You cannot do what people have done for the last 2 years and expect it to work while a platform is changing. You need to change as well. Find the balance in risk versus reward, and then it will be all good. So we go over this fully in the December 2019 Mastermind 10-week program focused on sweepstakes, pin submit, credit card trials, and has a huge portion on the Facebook ad account solutions, which is all through a more white hat approach. No cloaker, no proxies. We have some black hat stuff for the people interested in that, but it mainly focuses on an easy approach where you run a stable business and you're focused on progressing. So if you're interested in that, there's a link in the description down below. If you have any specific questions, you have your own circumstances where you already have experienced bands, you want to know more, put them down in the comments below and I will for sure have a look. Thank you so much for watching and I'll see you guys in the next one.